Sorcery in Elden Ring is about to get better. A whole lot better. Hello, my fellow tarnished, my fellow wielders of all things magic, and yes, this applies to you, you incantation sorts. How would you like a way to, I don't know, permanently buff the damage you deal by nearly double? Yeah, this innocent 700 glintstone pebble becomes 1300, and there's no limit to it. It's kind of ridiculous. So at this point, I'm assuming you're sat there going, tell me, and I will tell you, you wonderful human being, you. But before we get to the how, let's do the what. For this, you need to go to Volcano Manor, and you need to actually complete and move your way through the Volcano Manor level, as it were. And as you progress, you will eventually get to a boss fight in this room that once you complete, you have this grace. This is the grace you want to be starting from, the Temple of Igle. And from here, well, follow my steps, trace them good, and you will find yourself going on quite the run both in and out of the volcano until eventually you return inside the manor. Have a little bit of a sprint through there, get to a room with a lot of staircases, turn around, head up them. There is a stone sword key wall that you, well, feed a stone sword key, and then recreate that one scene from Half-Life. Right? Please, I need someone to be like, oh yeah, like please tell me if this also is a, oh my god, yeah, you're not wrong moment for you, please. Once you slowly, carefully make it to the floor, simply run into the open room, and on the corpse on the floor, you will find what we are after. Our prize. It is the Royal Knight's Resolve Ash of War. You can apply this to any weapon. So let's talk about what it is actually supposed to do. Basically, it massively buffs your next attack. So, take this piddly little dagger, sneak up on and stab this unawares gentleman here, and we do, I don't know, about 60 damage, right? Nothing to completely write home about. Oh, and for those of you looking at my armor set, my fashion souls, and thinking, god damn, that's actually really cool, where do I get that? I will leave a link to the video showing off some armor sets and where to get them, of which this is one of them, released earlier. So now we actually put the Royal Knight's Resolve on, and that piddly hit suddenly skyrockets to over 100. Obviously both relatively low numbers, but you can see the massive difference between them. It is a gargantuan damage buff. What? However, it only applies to one attack. And once you activate the ashes, you have around 8 seconds to actually make that attack happen. Which is all fair enough. That, in essence, is a neat little balanced Ashes of War. The catch is, though, it also buffs the damage of your spells. And then the further catch is, it doesn't consume the buff when you use a spell. Which means for that 8 seconds I said you have to get the hit, the 8 seconds this buff lasts, the 8-second time window, you have near double damage activated for every single sorcery, incantation, and so on that you throw out. Basically, anything that isn't hitting something with your weapon gets this huge amp for 8 seconds, at which point you can then just use the Ashes of War again and keep going, resulting in an endless, massive damage buff constantly. I realize I need to add constantly after saying endless, but I really do need to stress how ridiculous that is. Whether this is intended or supposed to work this way, I am not sure. It does feel a little bit strong, and it feels like it's supposed to be a melee-only thing, or at least one spell, but hey, this is how it be. So I would recommend then having an offhand dagger, just something light and easy to have there, give it the Ashes of War, choose a damage type that actually helps build up a status, because then you can actually hit with the dagger in close quarters, which is quite a nice little surprise mix-up to build something like Frost, especially as a lot of the good spells are Frost spells, so it helps build up that Frostbite and make the enemy take a load of damage and then take 20% more damage for a while. But in any case, yeah, throw it on a dagger. All you want to do then is two-hand the dagger, use the Ashes of War, go back to staff and dagger, and start blasting off spells. It really is that simple, but as you can see, it is also insanely effective. And to prove the point on just how insanely effective it is, you know my one-shot Comet Azure boss insta-deletion build that I shared a bit back? Well, imagine that with a additional 80% damage. And actually, don't imagine that. Enjoy. Yeah, he barely even gets time to have his health bar on the screen before he is, well, disintegrated. And it's not like this is an early game weak enemy, it's about mid-game, bit after mid-game, middle of the Lake of Rot, you know, this isn't exactly a nice, quiet, calm zone. This is a great enemy, it's a Dragonkin. This isn't the weakest dummy I could have chosen, let's be real here, and it just doesn't matter. Even the Rot couldn't kill me from half health before I finished the boss. And even if we go to the Mantop's a Giant and have a go at some random giants, they're quite healthy boys, but with the power of this resolve, yeah, it melts through them too. So it's definitely something that you want to, well, invest in, and I think very much it's going to become the standard to have this Ashes on an offhand dagger, staff in the other hand, at least until or if it gets fixed, changed, nerfed, etc, etc. It's just way too potent to ignore, and something that should be in any magic user's arsenal, any int build arsenal really, and is something for you to take advantage of. So there it is. Like if this has indeed been useful, exciting, are you going to go do it? Subscribe and hit the bell for more Elden Ring tips, tricks, funny things, guides, builds, you know how it is. And until we meet again, please consider supporting the future of this channel, our existence on the Patreon link down below. It does keep us going, and if you like what we do, well, maybe consider it. It means the absolute world. Though, of course, no pressure. Alrighty, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.